I know all of you want to know the most efficient way to lose fat. And let me tell you right now, it's definitely not Ozempic.
We noticed that 96.9% of you guys are not subscribed and 3.2% are. So to the 3.2% that are, we love you.
For the 96.9% of you who are unsubscribed, we would love it if you would join us in this very, very meaningful conversation. That is our mission and our life's work. Because Ozempic has you losing lean muscle mass and not fat. We want to be reducing the amount of fat. We want to be increasing the amount of lean muscle mass so you become a fat-burning machine. So we'd like to share with you today our top hacks from mother-daughter duo who've combined lost over 240 pounds together. But honestly, if you really get into the science of weight loss, you start to realize that your fat percentage is more important than your BMI. It's more important than your hip to waist ratio. It's the most important marker. And I have to confess, I have been putting off buying one of those fat measurement machines because I am really confronted by how much body fat that I have. And I work out like a fiend, right? So I should not have that much, but I don't know. That's just the way it is.
I think that your love for carbs. I think it's that.
Well, carbs, you mean like brown rice or?
Yeah, like brown rice, sweet potatoes. Those are so good though. I watch you eat it and I'm jealous, honestly.
Well, instead of having a whole sweet potato, I'll just have like a quarter of a sweet potato.
I just hate that mindset. I'd rather have the whole thing or not at all.
Well,
that's just how I am. I'm an all or nothing girl.
But for me, I'm working to not take hormone replacement therapy. And as I'm going through menopause, I want to get the phytoestrogens in, and that's going to be from flax seeds and from sweet potatoes.
I know.
Anyway, we got to get into our topic here.
It's okay to have some subcutaneous fat, just not visceral fat, right?
Ooh, look at her, Miss Science.
That's what I'm learning.
It's really amazing.
Although it's interesting because apparently fat people will live longer if we all go into starvation.
Right. It was the body constitution that was most coveted because of times of famine. We would be the strongest, the survival of the fittest.
I don't want to be fat. I want to be slim, thick.
Okay. Oh my gosh. But one thing's for sure, we have been studying how to lose fat and what's the most efficient way, because who likes to spin their wheels and try and just get no results? It's the most frustrating thing in the world. So number one, ditch the sugar. You are either on the train or you are off the sugar train. And my friends, I can only recommend that you get off the sugar train. The way to do that is to first start taking a microscope to the food that's in your cupboards, in your fridge, the food that you're buying, and see where there is hidden sugar. Because I guarantee you, if you are eating packaged foods, ultra processed foods, there's gonna be sugar in everything. Your salad dressings, your sauces, your chicken, whatever you're ordering out there in the world, even if you're a vegan, there's sugar hiding in all of that processed food, unless you're buying just tofu or pump food or, a whole food product that's in a box. There's gonna be sugar. There's gonna be sugar if there's a sauce. And I know that because I'm a chef and I love to make things tasty. And you gotta have that sweet, you gotta have that acid, you gotta have the salt. I know how to create flavor, and sugar is part of that equation. So it's really important that you get empowered on how to create the foods that you love in your very own kitchen. That's really the only way, I believe, unless you have a lot of money and a private chef, how you're gonna be able to get the flavors that you're looking for without the added sugar that leads you into addicted neurology. Your brain goes into addiction mode, similar to that of an addict, an alcoholic, or a drug addict. Your brain shifts into that mode when you eat sugar, and I don't want that for you.
Number 2 is fasted exercise. If you exercise while fasting, your body will tap into its fat stores instead of carbohydrates, and that will help you burn fat like a fat burning machine. And I do this every morning. I always work out on an empty stomach. Some people say to not do it because it's some people have blood sugar issues and things like that. So I'm not going to get into all that, but
it's true. What you're saying is important. So what the recommendation that you're making right now has a caveat. And the carve out is for people who have blood sugar irregularities. Now, I have to say that I have had a lot of benefits doing that, exercising while fasting. I do it just about every day, even though my doctors and health providers tell me not to.
I have the same thing. It's very true. But I'll tell you guys, I have to be honest, I have to share with you what worked for me. I've lost 150 pounds naturally without Ozempic, and I did it while fasting. Actually, I don't think I had one exercise. That's not true. When I used to exercise at the end of the day, that was not fasted. But I actually had better results when I was fasting and then exercised.
Yeah. Or you were fasting while you were exercising while fasting.
It's tongue twister, right? I'm not the only one who's struggling with this in the world.
Well, so here's something interesting. I wore a blood glucose monitor on several occasions. And what I noticed is when I was fasting, I would have these really low episodes. Like the alarms would go off. That's what happens when your blood sugar goes to a low area that is considered dangerous. And it would like alert And so I did notice that I was getting better results when I ate a little bit, like a very little bit. I just needed like 1 spoonful of yogurt or a tiny bit of almond milk or just a little protein powder in some nut or seed milk. So that was like a really simple way for me to create more stability in my blood glucose, because I think what happened was I was doing all this extreme fasting and I was demanding too much of my exercise, and then I got myself in a bit of a pickle. I was in a pre-diabetic mode for 3 full years until I started to eat a little bit before exercise. Now, I really struggle with it. I'm not hungry, I don't want to exercise on a full stomach and blah, blah, blah. So I've got a whole thing up, in mind.
But I think there is something to say about like really overweight people who want to lose the weight. I think because they've got so much on them, it's okay because their body is probably using carbohydrates, maybe also using fat. So
I think it also depends on what you're eating.
That's true.
Yeah. So some people think that drinking a latte is still fasting. So like but what is fasting? Like, so there's all these types. Is drinking lemon water before a workout fasting? I think the only true parameter we have is your blood glucose, because when you're exercising, you're going to burn fat, you're going to burn sugar, glucose. And so if you're going to eat, what would you eat? And I know that at weight loss clinics that I've worked with in the past, they always have them eat a little bit before they exercise.
Yeah, but some people, when they lift heavy weights, they'll eat carbs because they want the carbs to go to the muscles to make them big and stuff. It's very interesting.
Not for weight loss though, do you think?
No, absolutely not for weight loss. They say that eating protein is like it burns more calories to digest it. I just think it's so interesting. The human body is fascinating to me. The way the human body compensates for everything.
So the takeaway for point number 2 is that a very efficient way to lose fat is exercise. And one thing I can say for sure is that when I over-exercise, your body doesn't like it. It actually slows your weight loss down. It goes into like panic mode of some sort. Like, it's really not good to be aggressive or overdoing. It's also really ineffective to just do the bare minimum. It's better than doing nothing. I'll give you that, but it's really not going to give you great, efficient fat loss results. So it's very important that you ride that edge of not being lazy, not too aggressive, and you're constantly challenging yourself. Like Penelope is doing stuff with the treadmill, or she's going outside and jogging. I'm walking up mountains. I'm doing new trails. Like, always really important to change it up.
And fun fact, research also shows that exercise helps reduce your appetite. So it'll also naturally just make you less hungry, and you'll eat less in result of exercising more.
It's pretty shocking. This morning I was hungry before my workout, and then I was not hungry, and I'm still not hungry. It's crazy. Well, this is still a continuation of exercise. But point number 3 is moving after meals. This goes back to our blood sugar levels. Believe it or not, sugar levels too high or sugar levels too low, you're gonna store fat. So we wanna try to prevent that from happening. It doesn't matter what you eat, whenever you eat, your blood sugar is gonna rise. So if you take a short 5-minute walk, so easy. Do the dishes, do some laundry, walk around the house 5 times, whatever you want to do. Walk around your room. I've seen Penelope do that a few times. I even sometimes am on a call after lunch and I'll be doing push-ups. It can make slower eaters at the table a little uncomfortable if you're exercising, not gonna lie, while they're still finishing their meal. But it's also a good trick for me. I need to eat more slowly. Moving after meals will stabilize your blood sugar like nothing else. So I can only recommend that if you want to efficiently lose fat, that you consider moving after your meals.
Number 4, make sure you're hydrating well. Now, I don't mean just like drink more water. I mean specifically drink at least 8 cups of water. When I was a little girl, you would always tell me, make sure you drink 8 glasses of water. And you'd literally show me what a glass was. And there's apps to track. There's massive water bottles that we got made fun of for having. And people have made really funny jokes about the big water bottles. It's hilarious to me. However you have to get it in, get it in. If you're someone who loves to buy stuff, go buy a gallon water bottle and drink the whole thing. I did that for a long time and it really helped me lose weight, keep it off. I fixed my chronic dehydration issue. So I definitely recommend it. And last but not least, if you hydrate in the morning after a workout, you're more likely to stay hydrated throughout the day. You're more likely to get your water in, because I find it personally really hard to drink water throughout the day unless it's like tea or something fun. And if I do it in the morning and I drink like at least 2 or 3 big things of water, then I'm basically good for the day and only have to get 1 more in or 2 more in. So that's just like a little hack for you guys out there who maybe struggle with hydration.
How do you know you're hydrating well? Number 1, make sure you're drinking pure water. Make sure it does not contaminated, that it's maybe filtered. If you have an ability to have a filter, that would be ideal. We're not necessarily promoting bottled water, but we do want to be sure that you have a good source of water so you're not accumulating unnecessary toxins just from your drinking source. Also, if you're not going to the bathroom every 2 hours, you're probably dehydrated. The color of your urine, if it's brown or milky looking or not clear, you're probably dehydrated. So just know that hydrating well means that you're even anticipating the dehydration. Now, there might be some people who disagree with this, but I have found that if you can kind of get ahead, as Penelope used to always say, get ahead of the hunger, and then she said get ahead of the calories, and here we're saying get ahead of the hydration, which is exactly what she just described. If you can get ahead of your hydration, you're going to be in a good position, because I know some people who are chronically dehydrated. They suffer from headaches, muscle pain, chronic inflammation, low energy, scattered mind, so many issues. And unfortunately, they're chronically dehydrated. And then all of a sudden, everything gets backed up. It's time to eat, but they haven't had enough to drink. Or in the evening, oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. I haven't had any water today, but it's kind of too late to drink because then it ruins your sleep. So strategically hydrating outside of mealtime and before 7 p.m. is really, really important. Now, there's a calculation on exactly how many ounces of water you need to have per day, and that's unique to you.
If you want to know how much water to drink, just multiply your weight by 2/3.
So if you're obese, you need to drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Yeah. And I did a time when I had too much water.
And if you don't like water, because I kind of feel you on that one, then drink flavored water. Get Stir, stevia, little droppies, drink perfect water, drink LaCroix, drink sparkling water. I drink so much sparkling water in my weight loss journey, you guys. You could have called me a sparkling water bottle.
It's true.
But
yeah.
You do whatever you have to do. Oh, tea is my new thing. I drink so much tea. Mom's like, you're gonna overdose on tea. And I'm like, well, it's better than overdosing on Coca-Cola, so thanks. Pick your poison.
No, don't pick any poison. Just drink. Good stuff. Our last point on how to efficiently lose fat is to eat fat. Believe it or not, it's crazy, I know, but it's something I learned years ago and it's really blown my mind. Certain nuts and seeds will help you to lose fat. So we have different types of fat in our bodies. We have brown fat, we have white fat, and what kind of fat is the good fat? How do we know? Because we do need fat in our bodies. Women need about 23 to 26% body fat to be a healthy person. Men need a little bit less, but around the same amount. Eating certain nuts and seeds can help you to lose fat. Whoever thought that to efficiently lose fat, you would eat fat, but it's true. Flax seeds in particular are excellent at helping you to combat that white fat that causes a lot of problems like the fatty liver disease and whatnot. So flax seeds, grind them yourself, put them in your salads and your smoothies, make sauces out of them. I've recently been trying to make flax milk. It's not been working out very well. I don't know how they do it in those boxes. I guess it's a lot of fillers. Additionally, you could also eat almonds, pistachios, chia seeds. These all should be raw, ideally organic. And if you can, soak them before you eat them. That's even better. These all help to efficiently lose fat. Believe it or not. Could it be that delicious and wonderful? I also have seen through my clients, because I've worked with thousands of women over the last 30 years, and when they eat nuts and seeds, it absolutely boosts their weight loss results. It's very exciting. Not only that, but it changes your body composition. I know a lot of women are carrying weight around their bellies or their arms or their thighs or their, wherever they are carrying it, even in their sides, their backs. I mean, everyone's got a different place they're putting weight on. And believe it or not, you can completely change your body constitution.
Comment down below one of your favorite ways that we mentioned on how to lose fat that you may be implementing in your life.
I'd also like to know if you think fasting and exercising are a good combo.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna get lots of mixed comments about that.
I'm curious. I would like to know. The jury is still out. I mean, for me personally, it's not. I just have a mental block against it.
We're looking for 12 women who are ready to change their life, lose the weight once and for all without Ozempic, and do it naturally with whole foods. And if you know that you need support, we have an accountability group of only women, and we are so excited to invite you in. So click the link below to learn more.
Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I know I'm watching you.
96.3% of you aren't subscribed. So subscribe.